I was once the most famous simp in school. For the sake of a girl, I gave up my studies, my health, and almost died from obsession. But in this second life, I've decided to live for myself. Yeah, when I decided to stop being a simp, the school beauty who once broke my heart suddenly panicked. She started chasing me. From simp to comeback, just how far can I go? Let's have Isabel to solve it. Teacher Amy S. ignored Alex C. Although Alex had made progress recently, she didn't think he could solve such a complex equation. Teacher, let Alex C. try. He really can solve this, Isabel T. said confidently. Teacher Amy S. was a bit stunned, then nodded. Okay, Alex Z, come up and solve the problem. Alex Z went to the podium, grabbed the chalk, and started solving the equation. In less than 3 minutes, half the board was filled with Alex Z's equations. He didn't even stop for a second. Done. Alex Z placed the chalk back in the box. Teacher, please check if there's any mistake. Teacher Amy S. carefully looked over it. It was completely correct, rest not a single mistake. She stared at Alex Z, unable to believe that a student who had never passed a math exam could solve such a problem. Teacher Amy S. took a deep breath. It seems Isabel T's tutoring has really helped you a lot. Alex Z smiled and said, "Thank you, teacher, for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to the class monitor for her tireless tutoring." A rare smile appeared on teacher Amy S.'s usually stern face. Good, you can sit down now. Tomorrow's mock exam. I hope you'll give me an even bigger surprise. Alex Z returned to his seat. Isabel T. looked at the blackboard, a faint smile curving her lips. She knew best how much Alex had improved in these 3 days. At this rate of progress, Alex really had a chance to get into Jiangsu University. Sarah C. was also laughing. She thought Alex Z's improvement in studies was all thanks to her influence we liked her. It is because she told him she was aiming for Jiangsu University that he worked so hard. That's her charm. After class, Laura teed Rofern and OW away and sat next to Sarah C., whispering, "Sarah, Alex E. really seems to have changed." Sarah C. tilted her chin, smugly saying, "How else could he aim for Jiangsu University and start catching up to me?" Laura T. then asked, "Has he talked to you in the last few days?" "Didn't you see how hard he's studying?" Sarah C. rolled her eyes at Laura T. "So he hasn't talked to you, huh?" Laura T. silently thought to herself. After a brief silence, Laura T. asked again if he really gets into Jiangsu University. "Would you pay him?" Sarah C. hesitated for a moment before nodding. Most likely, depending on his performance. In the past few days, Alex Z. had really disappointed her. Not only did he not buy her meals, but he didn't even want to buy her snacks. If he got into Jiangsu University and still acted like this, she definitely wouldn't agree to date him. But if he kept pampering her like before, she could consider trying to date him. After all, Alex E. wasn't bad minus looking. He even made it into the top 10 of the high school heartthrob list. By the way, who's the one sending us breakfast? They're so mysterious. Who else could it be? My admirer, of course. I really hate people who act mysterious. Starting tomorrow, let's stop accepting breakfast from them. I want Alex E. to buy us breakfast. Alright, I'll listen to you. The next class was physical education. Teacher Amy S. had already talked to the PE teacher and told them to have free activities. She was sure most people would stay in the classroom to review. And indeed, most of the girls stayed in the classroom to study, but the boys were mostly absent. Tonda, who wasn't good with the sun, returned to the classroom. "Tondi, where's Alex C?" "Tonda, man, where's Alex C?" As soon as Tondi walked into the middle of the classroom, he heard her voices merging into one. First, he glanced at the class monitor, Isabel T., and then looked at Sarah C., sitting in the corner. Wow, Alex G. really has a lot of charm, huh? The class beauty is looking for him, and now even the class monitor is calling for him. He's playing basketball. "Tell him to come up. Just say I need to talk to him," Sarah C. ordered. "I feel a bit faint from the heat," Tom DeWeekly said. "Sarah C., what do you need Alex Z for?" "I'm about to leave." Class monitor Isabel T. stood up and asked. Sarah C. casually replied, "Forget it, I'll go down too. I want him to play badminton with me for a while." "Okay," Isabel T. responded, then walked ahead. Sarah C. followed slowly behind her. She felt a sense of crisis from Isabel T. Although she didn't like Alex A, she didn't want Isabel T to get too close to him. Isabel T walked out of the classroom, and Sarah C followed right behind her. Seeing Sarah C heading downstairs, Laura T immediately dropped her snacks and hurried after her. "Sarah, you going to find Alex C?" "Yeah, haven't played badminton in a while. I want him to play with me for a bit." After several intense days of studying, Sarah C was ready for a break. Laura T glanced at Isabel T, who was walking ahead, then lowered her voice and said, "Looks like Isabel T is going to find Alex Z too." Lately, Isabel T and Alex Z have been spending a lot of time together. It was hard not to raise eyebrows. Isabel T's top of the class in every subject. Alex Z probably just wants her to tutor him. Looks like he's dead set on getting to Jeongju University. Isabel T's top of the class in every subject. Alex Z probably just wants her to tutor him. Looks like he's dead set on getting into Jeongju University. Sarah C felt a bit conflicted. These past 3 days, Alex E treated her like a total stranger. She really hated that feeling. Theft? If he actually gets into Jeongju University, I'll take his last name, Laura T scoffed. Everyone knew Alex E's grades. He was always at the bottom of the rankings. If he even got into a third minus-tier college, it would be a miracle. And now he's aiming for a top university. On the school field, Alex Z was playing basketball with a few guys. It was blazing hot in June. Alex Z and Michael C's jerseys were completely soaked with sweat. "Alex bro, catch!" Michael C spun and tossed the ball to Alex Z at the 3- point line. Alex Z caught it, jumped, and shot. Clank. 3- pointer swish. Nice! Michael C jumped up and pumped his fist. "Bro, have you been secretly practicing?" "No way. How did that go in?" The opposing team looked utterly defeated. Just lucky. "Gotta stay humble," Alex said, smiling as he wiped his sweat. "Yo, Sarah C is here." Michael C squinted toward her. She was holding a bottle of shelled Coke. The guys quickly turned to look. That Coke's gotta be for Alex Z, right? Who else would she buy it for? You? Alex E's living the dream. The boys all looked at Alex Z with envy. Even Alex Z looked surprised. This didn't happen in his past life. He never played basketball then, and Sarah C never brought him a Coke. Could it be that by getting reborn, he changed fate and chanced Sarah C to? Soon, Sarah C and Laura T walked over to the field. Sarah C handed the ice cold Coke to Alex Z and smiled sweetly. "It's hot, right? I bought you a cold Coke. Super refreshing." Alex E stared blankly at her. If this were his first life, he would have been overwhelmed with excitement by now. But remembering how Sarah C never even visited him before he died, he took a deep breath and silently lowered his head. Touched, aren't you? This is the first time Sarah's ever bought a drink for a guy. Laura T looked at her chin proudly, as if Alex Yoy should feel honored. "Alex Z!" Just then, class monitor Isabel T walked over, carrying a case of mineral water. Her slim frame looked strained under the weight. Sweat shimmered on her pale forehead. Michael C rushed over to help, grabbing the box. "Class rep, did you buy this for us?" Isabel T glanced secretly at Alex Ya, then nodded. "Well, class rep's so thoughtful. All right, everyone, grab some water." Michael C grinned and started passing bottles around. "Thanks, class rep. She's the best." Appreciate it." The students all thanked her as they took the bottles. Sarah C's face darkened like she'd just swallowed a fly. She felt like her spotlight had been stolen. Was Isabel T doing this on purpose to go against her? Noticing her sour expression, Laura T sneered. TSK. Class monitor, with your fancy background, you only brought bottled water." Isabel T's cheeks flushed. She lowered her head and mumbled, "My mom says too much soda is bad for your teeth." "But that's only if you drink too much. A little doesn't hurt, right?" Laura T shot back. Isabel T looked at Alex Z and said, I can go exchange them for Cokes if you want." "No need. Bottled water's great," Alex Z said, pulling one from the box. He twisted off the cap and downed over half the bottle in one go. The chilled mineral water was incredibly refreshing. A few gulps and he felt totally cooled off. That hits the spot. Alex Z let out a satisfied sigh and smiled at Isabel T. "Thanks, class monitor." You're welcome. Isabel T lowered her head again. Even the pale skin on her neck flushed red.